Okay. Dear God, please protect me and my palate in this, our time of need. Yeah, I'm going to do a bunch of Jamaican rums. I'm basically clearing out my sample collection for the purposes of this video. We're going to do 5 high-proof Jamaican rums, representing, counting the Appleton I did in the previous video, all the distilleries in Jamaica, with the exception of Monimus, Clarendon. I just didn't have one for that. But everyone else is here. We have got a blend to start with. We have got some a very expensive and collectible Hampden. We have got some Long Pond, which is kind of in the middle of the ester range for them, but high ester by any other standard. We got some continentally aged New Yarmouth from some French bottlers, and we've got some Worthy Park from, again, the highest mark that they make. All right, this is scary. I've done tasting notes for these, right? I've done sessions with these before, but I did those individually. I've never done all 5 of these before, so I'm a little bit scared as to how this will go and if my palate will survive the process. All right, so we're going to start things off with Papalin Jamaica. Now, there is a standard bottling of Papalin, which you will find at your local liquor store, bottled at 46%. I've tried it. I wasn't super duper thrilled with it, but I did want to try this. This is the This is the one bottled at 57.18%. So basically, Papalin is a Vellier project. It's a blend of, so far as I know, Worthy Park and Hampden, which are kind of the two that Vellier has kind of been most associated with. All right, let's see what we got here. 7 years old, 100% pot still. Presumably there's different marks in this blend, but I don't know what they are. But let's get into this. On the nose. Quite soft. It's quite understated, actually. So you're getting kind of like creme brulee with like fennel and Turkish Delight. Turkish Delight is a kind of hallmark Worthy Park note for me. Touch of cherry cola as well. That's the Hampden speaking up. Tobacco, full Virginia flake. For all those Gwith fans out there. Russian Caravan tea. Also vanilla Coke happening in this. There's some plantains going on. And something confectionery, almost like a beignet note. You know, like those little fried things from New Orleans that they sprinkle with powdered sugar? That's in this. Kirschwasser, like cherry eau de vie. Lipton's. But I gotta say, I'm kind of having to kind of fight to get these notes out. It's not... So I've done like home blends in the past where, you know, I'm blending 2 things and I think it's going to be awesome, and they just kind of end up like dulling each other down, and it feels like that's kind of what's happening here. It's like I can tell there's interesting distillate in here. It's just not speaking up very much. So I'm very curious to see what this does with water on the palate. On the palate, again, it's very, very, very soft. Like vanilla pods, brine, dried flowers, black pepper. The oak is there, but I mean, so there, like you can tell that the color is not particularly dark. It's like it's just a little gentle hit of like black pepper and overstewed sweet tea on the finish, and that's kind of it for the oak. I wonder if they're just kind of using this series as a way to kind of do away with like their second, third, fourth fill casks. Little savory hints, one black olive, salted licorice, hints of cherry cola again, and that kind of like full Virginia flake note. Some puer tea, which I'm enjoying. I don't know. It's very pleasant, but it's also kind of a shrug, It's kind of uneventful. I'm going to see if that changes when I add water. But, yeah, I don't know. But I wanted to put this one first because I wanted to have something that would be kind of suitable to open the session. 3. I'm going to do like 4.5. That feels about right. Whenever you do a session like this, do not hop right into the heavy stuff. Like, put something up front to kind of get your palate in order that isn't going to challenge you so much. Otherwise, you're gonna blow yourself out even sooner than you already will. All right, let's move on though. I'm really curious to see what this Papalin does with water, though. I'm hoping it untangles itself a little bit. All right, but let's move on. This is, in the second glass, Hampden. Hampden, one of my favorite distilleries in the world. And this is part of the Endemic Bird series, which is profoundly collectible. Like, so far as I know, this is a U.S.-only release. But I have heard from folks elsewhere in particularly in New York, that folks in Europe are calling up to collect these damn things, presumably to then flip them on auction. This is the Becard cask, number 299, picked by the aficionados group, of which I'm part of their Discord. It's the LFCH mark, which is kind of relatively low ester. It's not super duper low. It's like the second rung up in the Hampden ladder, and it is 9 years old, bottled 2020 and distilled 2011. 60.6 alcohol. All right. These are very, very, very expensive and very, very, very collectible. Let's see if there's anything behind that. Okay, immediately more interesting than the Papalin. And really oakier than any like Hampden I can recall having in recent memory. Even the 2020 Great House was not this oaky. It's really like I'm getting like vanilla and cherry and sawdust out the wazoo. It smells like a cooperage. So it's almost like Hampden meets George T. Stagg. Don't get too excited. Like, I mean, maybe you have a right to be, but like, please don't run out and start snagging these things on auction. Like, please don't do that. But it's got that kind of staggy vibe to it. Like there's the layers of oak going on here. But then salted licorice, gravel, olives, mixed olives, cherry cola, the masses of flowers. Like, you dig deeper behind the oak and the Hampden is right there. Blueberry pie. There's blueberry pie in this. Sweet tea notes. There's little hints of like herbaceous herbal something. It's almost like someone poured a little bit of Brolio in here. You know, the the Italian liqueur. Yeah, that's here. I mean, so yeah, it's a real Hampden. It's got those proper rummy notes, but then it's got this very bourbon friendly side to it, and these kind of herbaceous touches that are really kind of new to me. This is fun. All right, on the palate, here we go. Dense. Really, really, really dense. I mean, right? This is one. I mean, if I were talking about the how much I want to try the Papalin with water, this I really want to try with water. It's just like right now it feels like this very tightly intermeshed mess of like oak and fennel and licorice and cherry cola and flowers. I shouldn't say mess. It doesn't feel like it's not bad by any means. It's just like there's so much here to kind of untangle. Yeah, black pepper, and then that kind of like bitter herbaceous note. Something halfway in between, like yeah, like cough drops and Braulio Amaro. Like that's what I'm getting on this. Um, More rocks coming through. A lot of tobacco notes. There's like a hold on. I don't know if anyone in tobacco, pipe tobacco, has done like a stowed Virginia meets Perique blend, but I feel like this is kind of what that would be like. Um, this is impressive. It's way more oak driven than any other Hendon I've ever had, but it kind of works. It kind of holds up. So I'm gonna give this some water. We'll come back to it. 3, 4. I'm gonna guess this needs 5, but we'll see. I go like 4 2/3. Man, and we are like all the rest of these are going to be higher ester. So, God help me. All right, here we go. So I sort of tried to order these last 3 by bottling strength, and considering how dark this next one here is, the Long Pond, I might be regretting that decision. All right, here we go. This third one is the National Rums of Jamaica, NRJ, Cambridge, STC Heart E, which is one of the Long Pond marks. It's kind of right in the middle of the ester range. And it is a 2010, recently bottled, and it is a 12-year-old. 15 barrels worth of this stuff for 4,900 bottles. Bottled at 57% alcohol by volume, 100 British proof. God, the esters are already starting to make me like starting to slur my speech a little bit. Jesus. Okay, here we go. So 12-year-old, high-ish ester Long Pond, tropically matured is what you're getting here. On the nose. Holy cow. All right, now we're getting serious. Wow, okay. So very oaky, as you can kind of tell by the color. Vanilla, cherry, lots of that. But then there's like just a gasoline fire happening in this glass. And also tons of flowers. So I don't know how to describe a gasoline fire with a bunch of flowers thrown on top, but that's kind of what I'm getting. Berries, rocks. God, this is good. Licorice, sea salt. What is that? It's like a musty kind of thing, like a musty mineral, like old. It smells like an old cave. even more fruit kind of coming out as I swirl it. Stone fruit, peach, kiwi, uh, even a little hint of durian. Don't be scared. This is nice durian. This is not the powdered stuff. Yeah, this is awesome. On the palate, here we go. God almighty. Oh, that's good. We may have a winner here, and I'm not even halfway through. Uh, just awesome. Berries, flowers, rocks. Like almost a, what is that? Like a metallic machine, almost kind of like an overheated engine kind of note. Like, you know, I'm drinking an engine from Le Mans in the 1960s. Flowers, vanilla, cherry. This is a lot. Let me try this again. God almighty. And like the way this behaves, the finish never goes away. So with every new sip, it kind of builds on itself. Good Lord. Overstood sweet tea. Stone fruit, again. Fennel, licorice. God, the finish just is endless. Oh. It's bubblegum, but it's always like floral, like blueberry bubblegum, something like that. Cotton candy is in this. This is awesome. This, I don't know if you can still get this bottle. I don't know where you can buy this, but this is awesome. Wowzers. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for the others to beat. I kind of feel bad for the New Yarmouth now. All right, I'm going to add some water to this, and we'll come back to it. That's very good. It's only 57. Half a squirt more. We'll leave it at that. All right, as you can tell by the color, this has a lot less oak influence on it because this is the only one here that's been continentally aged. This is the Compagnie d'Indes, French bottler, and this is a New Yarmouth, 12-year-old, distilled December 2009 and bottled in September 22. And this is barrel number JNE16, if you must know. Bottled at 59.5% alcohol. And you might be ready to kind of give this up for dead after how good the Cambridge was, but no, this is kind of putting up a fight. This is kind of doing what I like about continental aging, which is it gets very kind of aromatic and weird. I am getting vanilla, but I'm also getting like these kind of exotic wood notes. Balsa wood, incense. But then the flowers and a kind of like a pickle note, which I associate with New Yarmouth. Kind of hard to untangle this. Bubblegum again. Olives, fennel. What is that? It's like a root vegetable note, but it's not potatoes. It's more like carrots. You have to let this sit for a little while, but after a while, you do get wild berries, kind of mix of blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. God damn it, this one's good too. All right, let's see what happens on the palate. Yeah, really fun. This is why you don't write off continental aging. It can work. Vanilla, incense, kind of tied in with pickles, olives, pink peppercorns, sweet potatoes, like stewed sweet potatoes, flowers, and some kind of like double bubble, like double bubble gum is what I'm getting. Mixed berries, salted licorice. This is nice. I don't know if it's gonna top the the STC Heart Eat. Let's just call it Stacy. I don't know if it's gonna top Stacy, but this is pretty damn good, and it's kind of playing to the strengths of continental aging. It's very light on its feet, aromatic. I like it. I like this New Yarmouth. Let's give this a couple of squirts of water. 2, 3, 4, 4.5. I'm going to go to the full 5. 4 2/2. There we go. And last up. This is another official bottling. This is a Worthy Park. Picked by K&L in California. It is a 4-year-old, originally distilled in 2017, bottled at 65%. But importantly, this is the WPE mark, which is the highest ester mark that Worthy Park makes. I have reviewed a Worthy Park WPE before in the form of the 502 151, which I liked very, very much. So I'm extremely curious to see what that recipe does with oak. All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh. And it's kind of a fruit bomb, which I like. I mean, it smells like Skittles, like tropical fruit Skittles. But then there's these savory notes weaved in. It's like, again, the salted licorice, absinthe, some herbaceous touches. Kiwi, vanilla, cherry, of course. I mean, the oak is kind of showing its way here. Turkish Delight, again, that's that Worthy Park note. Good God. I'm like, my brain is shut down at this point. Like, I'm overloaded with with information. Strawberry bubblegum, maybe? I don't know, man. Like this is a lot. It smells nice. It smells really, really nice. I love how like raw and direct this is. You're not really getting like the same kind of complex tertiary notes you're getting with the Hampden or the Long Pond here. This is much more kind of direct with what it's doing. But at the same time, I kind of like that. I kind of appreciate that. All right, on the palate here. Oh, this is awesome. These are all really good. I feel bad for the Papalin now. Turkish Delight. Turkish Delight is the main thing, but shot through with aniseed, seawater, and olives, plus an obnoxious amount of fruit, all the fruit, flowers, black pepper. And oaky too. There is some oaky goodness to this. There's some some tea tannins, vanilla, black pepper, all that's in here. I'm sorry, I can't come up with more notes right now. I'm just overwhelmed how good these are. Yeah, it is good. This is very good. Let's give this some water and we'll come back to it. 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go 5.5. And there we go. God almighty. Okay. Breathe hard. Okay, let's go through these one more time. Thank you for humoring me as I struggle to come up with words for what I am experiencing this. The main impression I'm getting away from this is Jamaican rum is really good, really extraordinary. If you are not treating Jamaica with the same level of respect as you're giving to like hLaa or whatever your spirit's destination of choice may be, like I feel like you are making a huge mistake. These are up there. These are really, 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 really good. Let's return to the Papalin, which is kind of my warm-up rum here. On the nose. So this is one I was really hoping that water would kind of bring out some definition to it, and it sort of does. It's nice. It's there's flowers, there's kind of like old car engine notes. Water kind of brings out the more aromatic notes. Kind of has some like old perfume notes now. It's still a little bit vague. It's still a little bit less expressive than I would want, but I don't know, it smells nice. On the palate, I'm going to stick with nice. Nice seems to be the best word here. Very floral. There's some kind of like green curry notes. But it's really driven by Turkish Delight and a touch of cherry cola. It really comes off as like a perfectly decent blend of young, or I wouldn't say young, like moderately wood influenced Worthy Park with a little bit of moderately wood influenced Hampden thrown in. And that's kind of what I'm getting. It's a little bit unremarkable. It's very good, but this is one, I don't know if I'm going to be remembering this one, 5 years from now, if you get what I mean. 85 plus. Let's call it an 85 plus. It does, because it does improve with water. All right. Nice. Moving on. Back to the Hampden Becard. Ooh. On the nose. With water, the cough drop / Braulio thing really comes out. Oh, I like this. This is dense. It's wood-driven rum, but there's so many little details. There's some cinnamon happening now, like some almost some lemon coming through. Oh, this is good. It's just good. I'm annoyed by how much this stuff costs and by how much people are kind of collecting it, but the quality is there. All right, on the palate. Ooh. Yeah, there's no arguing with that. This tastes like a fusion of, yeah, George T. Stagg, Hampden, and like the best Amaros you can think of. Bitter, floral, herbaceous, like cherry coke heaven is what this is. Lots of oak, but the oak is bounced off by some sours, by the floral stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. In terms of style, this isn't really my thing. It's not my jam. But I can appreciate the level of quality here. Like the level at which this is playing. If you like your rums, with the distillate in play, with it kind of offering up what it's got, but at the same time with tons and tons and tons of oak happening, you will appreciate this more than I do. I'm still going to give it 90 points. This is real good. 90 points for the Hampden Becard. And there we go. But we're going to move on to what is currently my leader in this flight, the STC from Long Pond. All right, let's see what STC smells like now with water. It smells exactly like it did before. No real development, and I don't care. It's still god tier rum. This is good. This is really good. God, that's gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna stop smelling this. I'm gonna give you some notes. I can't, like, it's amazing. Like, it smells like what I want, a heavily oaked, but also like really, really, really ester driven rum to smell like. But it's also got those like cool tertiary notes, the like the old caves thing. I really like this. This is really, really good. All right, on the palate. This is why I love rum. Right here. This bottling right here. This is why I love rum. This is bonkers good. Oh god. This is dense. This is oaky. You can get the vanilla. You can get the sweet tea notes, the cherry, but the distillate is fighting back. It's throwing, all the cherries it can muster in there. It's throwing the flowers. Is this developing at all? Past the point that I add water? Not really. It might be a hair bit easier to drink now. I don't care. I love this. I love this. 92 points. This gets 92 points from me. And oh my god. This is really good. Long Pond Stacy. 12-year-old. Yeah, 92 points. This is really fantastic. If you can get a bottle of this, go for it. Moving on. All right, let's see if the New Yarmouth can step up. Let's see what it's got. On the nose. Again, we're going with the CDI New Yarmouth 12-year-old here. On the nose, it actually kind of tones down a little bit. Hello. Okay, it's still nice, but it's really kind of like playing up. It's like you put a high-pass filter on everything. It's like I'm getting the incense, I'm getting the vanillas, the wood. But it kind of like shuts down everything else. I mean, it's still nice, but I think I liked it better without water. On the palate. It kind of falls apart a little bit. Or rather, it's the vanilla sweetness kind of plays up and gets in the way of everything else, like all of those fun distillate notes. Not to the point of disaster, just a little bit, just enough. It's still really good, but I still like it. It's got some kind of fun yellow curry notes happening. But it's not going to beat the top, the previous two. Like, it's not beating the Hampden, it's not beating the... It's really not beating the Long Pond. I'm going to give this 90 minus out of 100. And let's move on. Finishing up, we're going to see what the Worthy Park WPE 2017 can do. On the nose with this, I'm not really getting any development at all, which is kind of common in younger rums. I mean, that's pretty normal. It's really when you get kind of past 8, 9, 10 years old that you start to see more complex development after you add water. In this case, I'm still getting my Skittles and like grungy stuff, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, nothing really new here on the nose. On the palate, gets more peppery, which is fun. And the olives kind of come forward, which is nice. There's a little bit more of a green character to this. It's still really led by that kind of Turkish delight note. I really like this. It's not going to win the flight. I mean, the Stacy is hard to beat. This is really, really, really good. But even if the Worthy Park here does not win the flight, I really like it. This is really nice. $89 points. This is totally worth an 89. But I feel like this is... with more time, with a little bit more time to kind of age, relax, take on those tertiary notes, I feel like this would be even better than it is. Even so, you know, for a 4-year-old, this is very, very impressive indeed. 89 points. And yeah, that concludes the flight. So where are we? In terms of ranking, we are at ranking looks like this. In last place is the Papalin, high proof Papalin. It's fine. It's just not. It's not all I would have hoped it would be. It's nice. It's nice, and if you can get it for a good price, that's great. But it's not very distinctive, if that's fair. Mix these up. 4th place, the worthy Park WPE from K&L. For a 4-year-old, this is doing real well. This is great. It's not great, but it's really, 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 really good. New Yarmouth, 12-year-old. Yeah, this is good. Do not overlook this, especially if you can get it for a good price. But it is not up there with my top 2, which are both from Trelawney actually. The Hampden Becard, obscenely expensive, but it can kind of back it up. It's certainly not high ester Hampden, but it's a Hampden. It's got a lot of detail, and also, you know, I would be remiss not to mention a lot of wood. A lot of wood. Those of you who are looking for those big old woody bourbons, you could do worse than this. But the winner, by a couple of points actually, is Stacy from Long Pond. Yeah, this is really nice. And I'm going to see about getting a full bottle of this. I don't know if I still can, but I'm going to try. 92 points for this. 90 for the Hampden. 90 minus for the New Yarmouth. 89 for the Worthy Park. And the Papalin gets an 85 plus. Thanks for watching, and cheers.